Well, hey there everybody, it's Snackbox coming to you from an overcast and a little bit cloudy day here in Atlanta, Georgia, but it is beautiful. I am looking ahead to those bright sunny days. I think I have a piece of dust here. Let's see if we can clean that off there for you, buddy. Maybe that'll help a little bit. So I'm coming to you from a day that's it's beautiful here. I mean, it's a little bit overcast, but I don't mind. I'm happy to be out here enjoying some of this beautiful weather before the summer heat rolls in here in Atlanta. I hope it's warm where you are. I hope you're doing well and staying safe and healthy. We got a lot to talk about with segment 15. We're going up Monarch Pass, and this is when the trail becomes the trail. So I'm excited for that. We've got a lot to do and not a lot of time. Let's get to it. So segment 15 of the Colorado Trail goes 14.3 miles. It starts at the US Highway 50 intersection and then goes all the way up to the Marshall Pass trailhead. So this whole segment is going to climb and climb and climb. You're gonna go up over the course of this 14.3 miles. You're gonna go up 3,500 feet, 3,600 feet almost, and you're gonna descend only about 1,600 feet. So you're climbing a lot more than you're descending. Still, don't let that scare you. This is actually a really well graded section, and most of that climbing is gonna happen on the first 8 or 9 miles of the segment, and it goes up relatively gently. There is a spot at the end where it kind of goes up really steeply, but it's a very short segment of that hike, so you're going to be able to do it. I'm confident in that. Let's talk about some of the very specific tips and tricks that I have for getting through this segment, because truly this is one of my favorite segments. It's one that when you look at the elevation chart, you're going to think, oh man, I'm in trouble. And then when you get out there, it's going to be really beautiful. There's a lot of great cover while you're climbing up and over to the Marshall Pass trailhead, and it's just pretty incredible. It's a nice one. I think you're going to agree with me that it's a pretty decent segment of the trail. My first tip for you is to not carry a lot of water as you're climbing up toward Monarch Pass. There's water in streams almost throughout the whole stretch of the first 9 miles or so. You're gonna have plenty of water throughout this segment, so take it easy on yourself, especially because if you went into Salida and got a resupply of food, your backpack's probably going to be heavier than usual. So making that pack as light as you can to get up over the pass is going to be really instrumental for you in this segment. My second tip is that you need to time your climb. Time it and make sure that you're getting up over it and you're coming back down earlier rather than later, because this is a segment where when you get to the top of the climb, it's going to be about 8-9 miles in, you'll reach the top, and then you're going to be above tree line for a pretty substantial stretch, probably 3 or 4 miles. And so you need to make sure that you're up there and making your way down early enough that you can avoid those storms. This is a spot where really and truly those storms can push in really quickly, and you don't want to be caught up above tree line exposed, especially when you should be up there enjoying those beautiful views. I gotta tell you though, once you get up to the pass, it is a cruise. So my last tip for you is that as you're planning your day and you're thinking about this distance, plan it all knowing that once you get up, after that, you are going to rocket ship. Whatever your speed is, it can actually accelerate at this point because the trail is beautiful. It's nice and smooth. It's going to have a little bit of a waviness to it, but overall, you're going to be able to smash some really big miles. I think it's going to be great. If you're coming in from Salida, I would highly recommend coming on in, starting the hike early, get up over that pass, make your way down it, and this is a good spot to start thinking about some of those bigger miles that you can start putting in, especially as distances become really important. For many people at this point, what you're going to realize is you had planned on going a lot more miles per day than you were able to do in the early days, but the good news for those of you who are feeling maybe a little discouraged at your pace at this point is that this section right here is the start of a spot where you can start making some big miles really quickly, even if you weren't ready to do so earlier in the hike. This is because you're going to hit a couple of segments here that are going to be a little bit less rise and fall, and you're going to be in better shape than you've been so far. So be excited. This is a really good spot for you, and I think this segment here deserves my last tip here. This might be number 4. I don't know. It might be number 5. I'm not very good at counting. I'm only good at talking to a camera in the middle of an empty park. Here's what I know is that at the end of this segment, there is a bathroom. So save that. And if you want to camp a little before it, right around it, there's some campsites just at the end of it there at the Marshall Pass trailhead. You can camp somewhere nearby. Just know that there is a bathroom at the end, and it remains relatively clean as well. It's a really good one to know about. So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you'll also find me at Backcountry Champion on Instagram so I can send you an outside comfort zone sticker. I'd love to get one in the mail to you. They are free for now. Eventually, maybe I'll start selling them. Maybe not. Maybe that'll just be my thing. Like when you go into one of those steakhouses and you throw peanuts on the floor. This is me throwing sticker peanuts all over my audience. I don't know what that means either. Whatever. And then finally, if you found this information useful, I hope that you'll click like and subscribe. I'd really love to continue building this community, and I'm having a great time getting to know many of you and and meeting all of the folks who have been so supportive in this project. And I'm really excited about hopefully meeting many of you on the Colorado Trail this summer. So if you click subscribe, I can stay in touch with you. I'm really hoping that you'll do that. Grateful for all of your time and all of the comments and feedback. Hope you'll keep commenting below. Let me know what you're excited about for the summer trail. And also, it is for me 100 days from when I start the trail. So I want you to tell me how many days until you're planning to start your through hike of the Colorado Trail, and tell me what it is you're most excited about. I know we spend a lot of time planning and being nervous about things like, what am I going to do about the climbs, or am I fit enough, or do I have my food planned out enough? Let's forget all those worries and anxiety for right now. Let's talk about what we're most excited about. And I'll tell you, for me, I'm most excited about those mornings when I wake up, put in 4 or 5 miles before the sun rises, and I get to sit at some high point having a beautiful view, drinking a hot cup of coffee that I waited a couple hours to work for and have at the top of that scene. I'm super amped about it. Hope you're excited as well. We've got so many more great segments coming up. I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you for everything, and I will see you later. This is Snackbox out, everybody. So this is Snackbox with a real fact I just made up. Before it was renamed Yellowstone, the park was originally called Gary.